Wednesday, everyone. I am so thrilled to have this new episode. It is a new season. It is season 10 of the Vibes by Alicia podcast. Yes. I know. It's such a moment because you know what? It's been almost 3.5 years. No, three and something. And we're changing it up. We're making it different. It's not going to be scripted anymore. I've decided that I'm not going to do that. And we're just going to go with the flow.
Woo, I love it.
But I don't go with the flow very well, Yuri. So Yuri is my guest today. Yuri Amor is, when I say that I admire women who are like entrepreneurial, ambitious, driven, and gorgeous at the same time. Like, this is the epitome. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, same to you, Mama. Thank you.
Yes,
So
I'm just so thrilled that you're here for the first episode. This is a premiere episode, episode 1. You know what? We are changing everything around so much. We decided that, we needed to just kind of like reinvent, like Madonna reinvents herself.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the queen of reinvention, right? So I thought, okay, let me just pull a little bit of the Madonna inspiration.
I'm just sad that if they're only listening to you, they kind of look at you and how gorgeous you look and sexy right now. But just in case, I needed to make sure people knew.
I had to spice it up because you know what? Yuri showed up at my anniversary brunch looking like a hottie. And I was like, oh my God, this girl is so hot. But you know what? It is such a good moment for me because we're just changing. It's good for us to change. And I'm actually one of those people that don't like change.
Really?
And I don't go with the flow very much. I'm always like, okay, when does the flow start? Because I need to like schedule myself. I'm such a type A personality. But welcome, and I'm so grateful that you're here, Yuri.
Thank you for inviting me. This is amazing. I'm loving the energy.
Oh, good. So tell me a little bit about who you are, and tell my audience a little bit of like where we connected before I get going.
Okay, so I'm Yuri Amor. I'm like full of energy. I love everything that has to do with movement and going and stuff like that. I love love. I love laughter. I love friendship. Alicia and I, we've met before, but we reconnected that time. I was just passing by when you had your podcast and your office.
Yes, at She
She
Space. That's right.
And that's when we reconnected. And
that was 2 years ago.
And that's what happened. And then we started talking about other stuff, and we'll talk about that later. But
yeah, so we're going to get into some juicy stuff because Yuri and I have history with a certain person that we have some serious history with. If anything, you guys are going to want to stay tuned to that story because it's really cray, right, Yuri? Crazy. So you and I met a few years ago. I know that I was at one of your events because you do Zumba classes and you also host events at your space. And it was over there in Edo somewhere. I can't remember exactly where.
Yeah, I used to own a studio. It was like a beautiful 5,000 square feet studio. But, rent goes high and you just have to decide. And so I turned it into a nonprofit. And now we teach at every park in Houston, Discovery Green, Midtown Park, Bagby, a bunch of parks. We have tons of fun at the museum, too. So, yeah.
Wow. And so after you started doing that, I realized that you were doing things at the park. You still do the Zumbas in the park, but I noticed that you're changing from Zumba to yoga. Or are you still doing Zumba?
Actually, I love yoga. Zumba is just because it's natural to me, and it's just like the way to get
you're
people
Panamania,
in.
right?
Sí, Panamania.
Okay. Yeah, I can feel that.
Just like easy, but I love the spirituality of yoga, the stretches, the energy, the powerful movements that you learn to do with yoga, the sitting down for a second, because like I said, I'm full of energy and this is me all the time.
Yeah.
I love the breathing part. So I wanted to bring that a la comunidad latina. That's still my focus. That's what I want to do more of than just Zumba, which Zumba I love. You know?
Do, yeah. And you go at it, y'all. If y'all go to her Instagram account, which we're going to share in a little bit, and you're going to see it at the description, you will see this girl is dancing every day. I'm like, she has so much energy. Like, I get exhausted just looking at her Instagram account because she's going at it. And you love it, and I can tell that you love what you're doing. Yuri, were you named after the Mexican artist Yuri?
I was, and my middle name is after her song. Back in the days, that was her song, Amor. So it is my name. It's not my artistic name. I mean, it is artistic.
It is an artistic name, yeah.
Yeah, it is after the Mexican singer. Panamá tiene muchísima influencia de México.
Sí, sí,
we know
sí.
Juan Gabriel, el Buki, todas las telenovelas.
El panameño que conozco es el general. That's the only person that I know really well because I was obsessed with el general when I was in high school.
De Coca-Cola.
Sí,
And
sí.
you have it, so.
Yes. So I love el general. Like general was the music that you put on when you wanted to dance.
Yes.
Right? Whatever happened to him?
Oh, he became a Christian and went to Miami and he started singing that. But I mean, he's fine. He
was so much fun just to dance the songs.
Yeah,
so cool.
Totally.
So you know what, guys? One of the things that we're changing for this season, and the reason why Yuri's here is because I'm really focusing on giving my ladies that are 40 plus just ideas and ways to feel empowered as you reach your 40s.
Yeah.
I don't think you're 40 yet, right,
I am 40.
Yuri? You are no way.
Yes.
Girl, stop. I was just gonna say, you're not there in the club.
No,
So, okay, welcome to the club. How old are you?
40.
40.
I'm exactly 40. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
turn 41 in a few months.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll be 48 in a few months myself. So
yes,
this
give me the tips.
So this is kind of where like this podcast is going. Like, how can we give each other empowerment? How can we like support each other through our 40s? Because a lot of women like think, oh gosh, it's not like youthful, and it actually is youthful.
Gosh.
It's fun. There's freedom in becoming 40.
Oh my gosh,
I think,
yes,
right?
Yes.
How do you feel? Like you just turned 40, so tell me about that.
Well, the first part was that I have my baby. So after I was pregnant, which is so freaking hard, and we don't talk enough about it, after giving birth, which is just like impossible.
So you were 39 when you gave birth to your son? Or
No,
38?
39.
39,
Yeah.
wow.
And so my birthday gift for my 40 was him, basically. Having him in my arms is everything. But after that, that's like, and then I turned 40, and now I feel like, okay, I'm going to take my time to make my decisions. And I think that's very empowering.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, okay, I got this job, I'm going to go work for here.
Right.
Oh, I have this class, let me go there. I'm like,
Right.
My time, my peace is my priority. My baby, of course, my mom, my family. Like, I breathe and I decide what I'm going to do next instead of just jumping. This isn't working event. Let's go. Let's do this. No. So I think that's very important. When you turn 40, it's like, oh, my time now is a priority. Where do I put my energy?
Yeah, and you decide to protect your energy a lot more. That's something that I'm very big on. Like if something's going to zap my energy, I'm just not going to be about it. But if somebody, like for example, yourself, who gives me energy, who gives me like good vibes, I'm all about that because I sense it and I feel it and I absorb it, like I feel that way. And that's how I connect to women, other women, right? I think those are like the friendships. When you become 40 or you turn 40, I think you just start to become so much more like picky about the people you allow in your circle.
And you start seeing, okay, this person is amazing and I love him as a human being, but maybe right now we're not on the same cycle, we're not in the same space. And maybe that's not where I need to put my time. Even though I love you and I still want to be your friend, I might need to like take a step back and try to work on other friendships. And nothing wrong with that. I'm not losing that friendship. Right. I just put in my time and my effort in things that makes more sense to my time, Yes,
of course. And I think one of the things that we discovered when we're in our 40s that it's okay if we say no to people. It's okay to not be a people pleaser.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's okay for you to just decide that you're going to focus on your family and your kids, if that's what you want to do, on your husband, if you have a husband. Like, I feel like this is like the moment when you're just like so free about your decisions. Nobody's telling you what to do. People, even if they tried, you're just like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Like I just don't. Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm so much better about saying no now. Before my 40s, I was like, yes. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Where do you want to go? That sort of thing. And now I'm just like, yeah, I don't think so.
Actually, talking about friendships, and I love my friends that I have from FitMix and other family. We're planning a trip to go to Fredericksburg, a group of us. I love those girls' trips. Like, I love them. But I'm having a hard time leaving my baby alone for 2 nights. And so it's like, I really want to go, but I'm really and I'm not leaving him alone. Baby daddy can stay there. My mom is going to be there. Like, he's not going to, but I'm still like, it's a struggle. So it's very real that right now I am being very conscious about my decisions and what before it would have been like, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, of course. No, because then you start to think, well, is he going to be okay? Are they going to feed him when he needs to be fed? Is he going to be
Not even
like
that. Would I rather be one night drunk with my girlfriends or one
Oh,
night
I
with
see.
him?
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. It's not even about he's going to be taken care of. He's going to be great. For me, is it worth it? One night, 2 nights, 2 days, 3 days without him. And right now, I'm not sure. Like I'm having a serious
battle inside.
And it's not, I love both things. I'm happy with both things. I don't.
So it's not mommy guilt.
No.
Oh,
no,
cool. Okay.
It's out of love. It's
yeah.
No. He's adorable. He's great with people.
Yes.
He's not like super attached. Like if I'm not there, he starts crying. Not at all. Thank God. I mean, I'm gonna have that problem with him of being a social butterfly. That's gonna be my issue with him. He's like, where are you? He's already in the mic with the DJs. So.
Yeah, but he's his mama's boy.
Yeah, so.
And Yuri, you're like that too. You're a social butterfly. I see Yuri all the time out and about. We see each other at networking events, political events. We're supporting candidates. And so we see each other at those things all the time. And so, yeah, of course, I mean, your kids are going to probably be butters. Your baby's going to be a social butterfly like his mama. When I first got married, I used to be the social butterfly, and I was always out and about, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, every time. But when I got married, my husband doesn't go anywhere. Like, he doesn't do it. He's such a homebody. He's such a stable person. Like, he's like so happy at home with a book and a glass of wine, and that's it. So for me, it was like an adjustment. Right. Yeah. But when we turned 40 or when I turned 40, I remember just being like, my kids are teenagers. They were already in their teens. They were already becoming teenagers. And I thought to myself, you know what? This is like my time to like open myself up a little bit more and take more risks. Because before that, I was a stay-at-home mom I was a teacher for a long time. But I used to be very like a housewife, and I used to make sure that my husband got his food, his dinner, and everything. Like I love being a traditional housewife. I love that, For like my son is like, Mom, like you really enjoy like being home and cooking and that. I'm like, yeah, of course. It doesn't take away from my feminism. It doesn't take away.
Not at all.
And I think that's something that we struggle when we turn 40. Like, who am I going to be? And for me, it was just like, I just love taking care of them and taking care of my husband and making sure he's good, he's happy. But a lot of things changed for me too, in my 40s. And I started to feel like more freedom. So I opened my own business and I went and started doing more networking events. And so I think, that's like a really beautiful thing. And so friendships is something that changes in your 40s too. So this is going to lead me to our conversation of, a certain friend that we both know, a certain lady. And can I just tell you first, like my experience before you get to it? Because I know yours is a little crazier than mine and mine is a little cray-cray. I thought, so this person was, and Jamal knows who I'm talking about because he was around at the time. Jamal, my producer, who's been with me for 5 years and seasons.
Good
job, I think it's been more like 6 years now. Jamal puts up with me. And a guy who can do that, like he deserves a medal. Snaps. Oh, by the way, yeah, I got more coffee for you. I'm going to bring it to you the next time. I forgot today, but yeah. I have to keep him happy because otherwise he's going to just fire. He's going to fire my ass before I fire him because I need him. But you know what? I think at the time, this person was just super like obsessed with me. She insisted on being like in everything that I was doing. So I was going somewhere, she wanted to be there with me. If I was doing something, she wanted to do it with me. She even like mentioned a few times how like, oh my God, I can't wait to like find like a man like yours. Like he's this and he's that. And so a lot of people are like, girl, you got to be careful because she's kind of like coming for your life. You know those things where they say like she wants to like strip your body and like get in your body? Yes. I was like, no, it's cool. We're cool. She's a great person. Everything's great.
Yeah, no, she's
and again,
like that.
Friendships change in your 40s, right? So you kind of think, it won't affect me. We're just going to be cool. We're going to be just friends. But there was kind of like a little bit like a stalker thing going on because then I would get messages, then I would get texting, and it was sort of like intense. And I kind of like didn't want to be, but I think in a way she just sort of tore me down. She just tore me down to the place where like, okay, fine, let's do things together. Like I was just kind of like worn out
Okay.
because let's do this together. Let's do a podcast
And
together.
you say so many times no that at the end
And
you're
I
like,
said so
okay,
many times
you know,
no,
I
like,
feel
no,
bad.
I'm good. But I felt like she was coming on too strong. You know how they call like people love bomb you?
Uh-huh.
Have you heard that before? When they
Just
love
with you.
with
That was the
love-
first time.
love bomb you, right?
That's exactly what she did. Oh my gosh.
Oh, did she love bomb you too?
To the extreme, it became even sexual.
Oh,
Yeah, she tried to kiss me and I'm like, no, dude. I mean, we dance super sexy sometimes, you know, in my group, like it's part of our freedom.
But you're very
to be
sensual as well,
yeah.
as am I. Like I'm a very sensual
Yeah.
person. I'm very connected to my sexuality.
That doesn't mean
my
that
sensuality.
I'm really trying to hook up
Yeah.
with you. You know, it's just we're being sexy and we're dancing and grinding and doing our
How did you
thing
meet her?
through an amazing friend. And that's why it's like this
Mm.
guy is like he's
Mhm.
an amazing human being. I adore him. So if he's the one introducing me to her, like she's gotta be amazing, you know, kind of
Mhm.
thing. And then her best friend, another guy is like he's still a friend. Like he's part of the community. He was like really big for fitness. Both like it's like it was so unexpected to tell you the truth at the end of it. You
Right.
know, it's like yeah, she was so close to everyone. Like
I think there's a thing about people, and I think this is like a good warning for you ladies out there that are, you know, connecting with people. You've got to really look at their behaviors, because there's a lot of red flags that I think that I saw at the beginning and then I ignored.
like what? Because I don't remember.
Because
like,
okay, so for me, for example, like I'm very perceptive, and I come from a neighborhood where you grow up learning and like and managing people's behaviors and like how they function around things, and you pay
Okay.
attention to every little thing. And there were times when she would say things to me, and they were a little sexual too, right? I'm married. I'm married to a guy. Like I'm super like happy. Everything's great. But there were like connotations to like there were times where like it was a little bit like what would it be if like it would like us three, right? And Jamal knows me. I'm super obsessed and possessive of my man. Like I'm like crazy.
I am not sharing here.
I
with
am a
nobody.
Leo, and I'm super protective. Like I'm a fucking lion. Like the minute you say something, and then I laughed at it. But people were like, be careful with her because she's pursuing something. There's something very weird going on. And there's this energy that she gives off that's not you. That's not your energy. That's hers. And she's kind of like bringing it about every time. And so I looked at things like that. There were times when she would just appear in places where I was going to be. And I totally didn't tell her, didn't expect it. Like, how the hell did she find
Really?
out?
Okay, I did not. I mean, maybe, but
So
they were my classes.
another
so it's not
red
like,
flag, and I'm like, oh, all of a sudden, and then she's inserting herself in everything that I'm doing, and then like it's us as a partnership. And I hadn't said yes yet, but then like I was like, okay, fine, that's okay, we could do this. Like maybe it's something that we can look. But red flags, like they were red flags, and I
Well,
think
why
I
do
saw
you
them.
think it was okay for you to say yes? It's okay. Why do you think you let
I
things
think because at the time I was like going through like a little transition in my business, and I needed to leave what I was doing and do something else. So speaking and doing like speaking engagements was something that I wanted to do. And she told me she knew everybody.
happen?
She had every connection. She knew all the marketing people. She had all the sponsorships. I can help you to get you to where you want to become this and become that. And I'm like, oh, that would be great. Like I need all the help I can get. And then it was like, nope, she didn't know anyone. She didn't have the resources. She didn't have the connections.
Apparently, she knew everyone, but nobody knew her. That's the thing. You know, it's like
That's
because she's
true.
been around and she's tried with everybody, but like people don't know who she is. It's, you know. But yeah, I can see all of that happening. But I mean, that somebody wants to work with you doesn't seem to me like a red flag. Kind of.
Yeah, but it
you
is
know?
because if you know me, and she knew me pretty well, you
Uh-huh.
don't work with me unless you're like at my intensity.
Mhm.
I don't want to say like at my level, like I'm like up here, but my intensity is very high.
Yeah.
Like I don't do basic anything, and like you have to like be on time, you have to be early. And
Mhm.
so we had some activities and some things where she was always late.
Oh no.
She
no,
didn't
no.
come appropriately dressed, smelly.
Oh no.
And I I don't know, but I hold myself at another standard. Like
Yes.
I'm like at another place. Like I'm just like for me it's like so important. Like I was raised like you show up and you're early and
Yes.
you know te ves presentable, like you look good, you look nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's smelling of cigarettes, smelling of
Yes.
marijuana.
Oh, yeah.
Just a lot of craziness like that. And I'm like, why am I here?
Yeah.
You got burned though. You were burned in a very different way because she never asked me for money. But she took some of your money.
A lot. Yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell me that story.
So that's the thing is like, you know, we got to be close friends to a certain extent, to the closest of my friends in Fit Mix. You know, we are together at least 3 times a week.
Right.
Sometimes we go have lunch. Sometimes you guys come home and we hang out. And it's like, might not tell you the entire story, but we are together a lot of the time. So we became that type of friend. She was part of the circle. And she asked me to host her birthday party. And I was like, sure thing. You know, things like that. She was working with these retirement, you know, those companies that you sign up for retirement and whatever.
Was it one of those like
Goya?
MLS things? Yeah.
Goya or something like that.
Something, yeah. Like MLM.
Yeah.
No, multi-level marketing.
Multi-level marketing.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think it was something like that.
Okay.
But, you know, I'm not familiar with it. But I did have another friend asking me for that. And I did invest a little bit of money, like $50 a month. And it's, you know, it's grown to like $30,000. So it seemed like, you know, yes, let me put some money in another friend. And so she asked me for the bank account and my signature to get the blood test. At this time, I didn't know you don't pay for that. The company pays for that.
Oh.
So at this time, I had no idea about that. I got the blood test, you know.
How much money was that?
It wasn't about the money. It was about the bank account.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she was like, you just give me your bank account. And they're just going to take it from there. You know, yes, that was naive of me. But at the same time, it's like,
you trusted her.
Yeah,
you did,
like,
yeah.
She's like, you had your birthday party at my place. Like, we have common friends. Like, we are very involved. We're on Facebook all the time together. Like, why would I think that you are the one who really wants to, like,
screw you,
steal from me?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not like I have tons of money. I work for my money. It's like, who are you? Why would you do this? And so she had my bank account. And, excuse me, I would put my money for my bills in that bank account. You know, that was the bills account. I have my other cards for like, I want to buy something or, you know, splurge here and there, whatever. Right. So that was, I put the money there. I know my bills are going to fall in that. And as long as I have money, I'm good. Like, you know, it's not, now I'm like always checking what the charges are. At that moment, I wasn't. And so like 6 months later, for some reason, I get like, it's in red. And I'm like, no, why would it be red? Like I put money on that account.
Yeah, of course.
Like, unless like there was a crazy electricity bill or something like that. And so when I look, I had like 6 months of charges for like $648 for retirement. I was like, what?
You were livid.
I was like, my mom was like, Yuri, where are you? I'm like,
no, of course.
Taking her to the court will like take a lot of. I was like, really, I'm gonna hire a lawyer. I'm gonna destroy her life. I'm gonna expose her on Facebook. I wanted to do all of it. Mom was like, do you really want to put your time into that? I was like, yes, I do.
Time and more money too.
Time and money. Now let me put some money. Now let me get all the money that I can, so I can like. But you know, at that point, my mom was like, it's not worth it because then that's going to be like the talk of the town. Everybody's going to, you have to think about Fit Mix and the reputation that you have and what you're trying to build. So I ended up just settling with the company, getting my money back. Thank God, you know.
You went through the company then?
And the company and
gave you the money back?
The company.
What did you say to her? Like, what did you confront her?
This woman. I don't know.
You need to drink some more wine so you can tell me about this story. Get a little wine in there and like get it out, right, Jamal? Jamal is like, so he's like listening over here. Like, he's like so ready.
So at this time, I had already like called the company, and they were like, "Well, we have your signature. We have your email." I'm like, "No, you have an email, and that is not my signature. And I'm not about to prove to you that she's a fraud. You better fix this, or I'm going public on this."
Gotcha.
Like, so they went, but I didn't talk to her. I didn't tell her I was doing that.
Oh,
you know, I just went straight to the company and told them, "Give my money back." So I'm teaching at Levy Park, which is a gorgeous park.
Yeah.
Class of like 100 people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, packed. Like,
you teach big classes.
Like, you know, it's like there's no more space for people in that park. And of course, you know, everybody knows who I am. And I'm in front of the class, and I have to be like, she comes to class.
No.
And
she
my
shows
friends,
up to your class?
She shows up to my class. And like, I had my girlfriends that knew what was going on. And they're like, shh, like, calm down. Don't do this in front of people. Like, calm down. We're going to step in front of her. So they make the, like, a line. Because she came to the first row. I was
to
like,
what? To participate or to talk to you?
Participate in class, dancing with her friend that she brought from Mexico.
What the hell?
Descarada. O sea, can I explain this to you?
She did. Like, did she not realize that you were going through shit? Did you tell her?
Because I didn't tell her.
Oh.
She didn't know at that moment. I knew.
You knew all that was going on.
She didn't.
And why didn't you call her out? That would have been the first thing I would have done. Call her and tell her, what the hell are you doing? I didn't approve any of these charges.
I am not very good at words. I am very aggressive. Like, not aggressive, but like, I am a movement person. Like, I just, you know, I wanted a punching bag. Like, the discussion, I don't care about talking to you. You already mess up the entire equation. Let me just fix it and get away from you.
Gotcha.
Because, like, this is not healthy. I'm not going to get anything from you telling me, oh, but you told me I could open the account and you wanted this, you know, things like that. Like, I couldn't hear that from her because I was going to lose it. Like, seriously, like, how could you do that to a friend? Like, as far as I knew, you were my dear friend. You know, and so my girlfriends, they, like, stood in front of her and, like, blocked her from my side so I could keep smiling during class. Can you believe that after, like, they block her and everything, at the end of class, you know, I'm saying bye to everybody, taking pictures, like, trying my best to, like, keep my
composure.
Yes. It's like,
keep your composure.
And she comes and tried to talk to me. My girlfriend's, like, really, like, this time they had to hold me. And I was like, and she turned around and left.
Okay.
She turned, because I, like, my face, I was like.
You were ready to just.
I was ready. And it's like, and I never fought in my life, just with my brothers, you know. But it's like my energy is not going to be, let's talk about this. Let's sit and have a conversation. Not when you have done, man, are you serious? Like, so close, and that's your attitude. So, yeah. Then she figured out that I knew finally. But she didn't know I knew. I don't know what the company did. The company is like, seriously, you're not even going to fire her. Like, you're not going to put her on a, like, nothing. You're going to let her keep taking advantage of people. And I'm pretty sure she messed with the wrong person because now she's hiding.
But Yuri, I think, honestly, those companies just, that's where they go. That's what they do. That's part of their modus operandi. Like, they do that to people to get what they want.
And not all companies, because, for example, my aunt works for Mary Kay, and it's been a blessing.
Oh, no, yeah, of course.
Her,
Mary Kay is like such a good company, and they've been around 50, 60 years.
And
like,
there's other company that teach about investment, and I have great friends that they, you know, it's like, it's not everybody, it's not every company. They are like a bunch of really bad companies out there. I agree with you on that, but I don't want to say
all of them. Yeah,
all of
you
them.
don't want to generalize. Yeah, of course.
But some of them, they really don't care about who's working for them and what they're doing as long as they're making money.
Really?
She didn't know. She had no idea. And I have been dealing with that for like 3 months at that time.
Did you continue? Like, did you cut off the friendship after that?
I'm telling you, if I see her again, well, now I'm more calm, you know? Now I might be like, maybe I might go to yell and I don't want to leave my baby alone.
You know, when I was trying to disconnect from her, I was afraid to disconnect because I knew she would probably come to my house and be like upset and cry and make a whole scene because I did not want to be around her. And she was so committed to like being in everything that I did. And a friend of mine was so good about like, you know,
Yeah.
be so careful
Mhm.
because she is like really like gunning for your life. Like she wants everything that you have, all those things. Like she's like really coming strong. Be careful. And so, you know, when I finally disconnected, which I did disconnect pretty quickly, and I think the pandemic helped because I was like, oh, I'm disconnecting. I'm not doing anything. The pandemic is here and I'm done. I'm not doing anything. So that helped. But I honestly was like, gosh, I don't know how I'm going to tell her because I don't want her coming to my house
Yeah.
and, you know, like making a big scene and then my kids and then my husband.
Oh
Like,
my
I
gosh.
just knew she would just have such a hard time with like the whole disconnection. I just knew it. And I did not want to be connected to that anymore because I was connected to that in a while.
Mhm.
She had a boyfriend that she brought around and he
gosh.
was such a fucking pervert, disgusting pervert.
Oh, gross.
You know, the type of guy that like when he hugs you, he lingers a little too long. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
of course
right?
I
Like
do.
they're like
Mhm.
they
wanna
like see you and they're
squeeze
like
and
they
feel, and it's
squeeze
like,
you and they feel you and I'm like, oh my god, I wanted to vomit. I wanted to vomit and be like, God, get away from me, you nasty
Ugh,
person.
yeah.
But learning lesson.
Yeah.
Do not dismiss those red flags that are popping up. If they pop up, fucking listen to them and pay attention to them because they were there. Like I knew they were there, Yuri, but I just like
Man, I don't know, Alicia,
deleted them.
because for my mom, it's like second instinct.
Yeah.
She tells me all the freaking time. She smells it. She tells me, and I'm just like, oh, really? I don't think so. Let me give it another try. You know, and he's like, no, it's been like with every person. I don't know if I don't have that instinct or hopefully I can get it now with my baby, but I really like I don't have it. Like my mom, man, she can smell it from a mile. Like
Yeah.
one of the ladies from class, I was like, she just wants your fame. She just wants the spotlight. That's why she's close to you. I was like, no. Yes.
Yes.
Threw me under the bus. I almost lost the organization because of her. The other friend is like, let me buy your ring, your engagement ring that, you know, from my divorce. I'll buy it. And my mom was like, why would you want to buy your engagement ring? I'm like, to help me, mommy. She's like, no.
No, that's
like,
not
not
normal.
normal.
No.
She-
No.
Mess up with my boyfriend. Like things like that is like over and over again. And I'm like, no, but mommy, maybe.
No, and I think what happens is we don't want to believe that a friend or somebody so close to us can be so like cynical and like nasty. Yeah. And like and behind her back, going behind her back and doing that. But when I started to like really freak out was when she was really like going in on like how much she really liked my husband. My husband was like so fucking amazing. Jamal knows this about me. I am a fucking lion and I'm like so like, ooh, you don't even get close to that man. I'm like obsessed with him. We've been together a long time and you do not. And the minute I saw that, I'm like, ooh, ooh, something's coming. I can feel it. And so disconnect. And that was it. And I was so happy.
You kind of like ghosted her. You didn't
I ghosted.
You didn't
so
talk to her.
I did send us text message and said, hey, I'm just like not going to do anything. The pandemic is here. It gave me a good excuse. I said, I'm not pursuing anything else. I'm just going to lay low, not do anything at all. I'm like, gosh, that was like such a good timing because I felt like she was just gonna just come and like being like, oh my God, no, don't do this. We can't, we have so much to do together. I just knew I could just hear her saying all that. And I was like, I could not keep it going because I had a feeling and I knew that she just wasn't good for me and for who I was. And then all of a sudden I started getting calls from people who were like, hey, we were going to ask you to do this, but because she's involved, we didn't ask you to do that. And like,
no.
what? Really? And a sponsorship opportunity came about and they were like, oh, we know about her and we've heard about her and we didn't want to like support you because she was a part of this. And we were like,
oh,
really?
Gosh.
So at the end, I'm glad that everything was like done and over and I don't ever see her anymore at all.
Totally.
But at
Where
the
is she
same
hiding
time,
nowadays?
I have no idea. I have not seen or heard or anything. And you're probably right. She's probably hiding from something.
If she did it to us or she did it to me that I'm so public and now, you know, outspoken and she didn't care, They probably did it to like so
True.
many people.
True.
And one of them went like,
Yeah. So, you know what, guys, if you're out there and you see those red flags, pay attention to them.
or let me know, because sometimes I don't see them.
Or be there for that person that doesn't see those flags, and then just be like, hey, you gotta you gotta see that.
Look.
You know how they send those emojis and they're like a red flag, and people are like, send that emoji to Yuri because she needs to see it. You know what though? But friendships grow and you learn from it.
Yeah,
I think it's a
totally.
learning experience for me, and I just realized that I'm just not going to be as gullible, and I
Yeah.
never had been, but at that time I was like, I think she just wore me down. I think I just
True.
got so worn out. I'm like, you know, like a boyfriend or a guy who's like always pursuing you.
Yeah.
Like finally, okay, damn it,
Okay.
yes, I'll go on a date with you, right? And then it turns out that they were like,
Okay, you can touch my hand.
and they love bomb you. They give you everything.
Everything.
They say you're the best. I love
I
you.
know with
I
guys,
live,
it's
blah, blah, blah.
like I'm aware of what I'm doing, and I'm aware of the game, and I'm ready
Yeah.
for it. You know, it's a little
Different.
because I'm single. You know, it's like I play the game. I understand the game. I know the rules. But
Yeah.
with your girlfriends, those are not supposed to be the rules.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
especially in these days that our queen is supposed to fix each other's crown. You
Crowns.
know, it's like the,
Yeah.
the list of fine. There's so much abundance of
I know,
everything.
I
You
know.
know, why are you
So
being petty
true.
like that? Like that's not the rule of the game. With the guys, yeah, that's the rule of the game. They're gonna try until you say yes. if that's the plan that they are going
Of course,
for.
yeah.
But with girlfriends, I mean, we're supposed to have fun and build things and fight for our rights and like do so many other things than stealing from each other.
Right. And I think the way you and I connected too later was like, did you get burned by that person? And I was like, yeah,
At
I
least
got
that brought
burned.
us together.
Oh my
Something
God,
good
I got
came
burned
out
by
of
that
it.
person too. We both got burned, and we're like, oh crap. Dude, we really fell for that nonsense. But you know what? It is a learning experience. And I'm not gonna like say that I didn't learn. I learned a lot. I'm much more careful about the people that I bring around me and the circles that I create for myself. And I feel like that's important for women in their 40s and like the things that we're pursuing now. Especially, you know, you're a new mom. You had your son, you know, recently. I'm trying to teach my kids too, like, you know, be careful, like be wary of those people that are just out there to get something from you and not really like you for who you are, but because they're looking to get something from you.
True.
Judy, tell us what you're pursuing now and what you're promoting, and tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, I'm going into a new venture. Well, I'll tell you that on the part 2 that we're gonna do.
She's already at part 2. See,
I'm already
Jamal,
signing up because this
girl is
producer
media
said
savvy.
so.
Yuri is a media savvy maven.
We have more going.
Yes. No, you're gonna come in a lot. Yeah,
But
I can see
one
that.
of the fights, not fights as a fight, but like things that I want to accomplish is first mental health, but how do we get there through fitness? And my fight right now is like, I don't think there's enough emphasis on how important instructors are. And so I want to build instructors. I want to teach people how to teach, how to become that person that motivates you, that is, you know, that is bringing so much happiness or so much energy that you want to go to that person and you want to train and you want to do things, even if it's just watch the show. Like I tell my mom sometimes, I'm like, Mommy, I know you don't feel like working out, but come out. Just being out and feeling the energy is healthier than staying home and watching TV.
Absolutely,
You know, it's
I agree with that.
So my goal right now is to do the next training. And on this training, I'm going to have veterans join me for 10 weeks and learning how to teach, how to work with us, how to motivate people, how to do hybrid classes, learn all the ins and outs of what it takes to become an instructor that can actually move people and have those little snippets of conversations that I love. The last one, I just want to give a shout out to my BFF Samuel, because he brings like the most amazing things. Isabel too, but he brought one card that said, shoot the parrot. And I loved it. I said, what the hell is that? I don't want people thinking that I don't like animals, please. He's like, no. The parrot that is always telling you, you cannot do that, or you're not thin enough. That the parrot that is always making you feel like you're not enough. And that parrot, when he's talking, shoot it, like, shut it out, like, just be aware that it's not real.
Yeah.
You know, kind of thing. That's like, that is so important for mental health because sometimes you feel like you're
So
worthless.
important. Yeah.
And that's that power talking to you.
True.
So
Right.
those little snippets at the end of class where we're talking about mental health, I think they're the most amazing thing that we can do for our groups. And so that's what I want to build very
And how can a
strongly
person
next.
join one of your groups? Where can they go to find out?
On Instagram, fitmixcommunities.org or Facebook, Yuri Amor or Fitmix Communities. Yeah. And we have free classes everywhere. Almost every day we have a free class, but Fridays, because I think Fridays are for like margaritas. But
Happy hours. I mean, seriously, of course. But you know what? I think mental health is so important, especially in like our community and like what's going on and everything that happens. And, you know, for women our age too. And like for me, I think fitness is just so important. Like it's something that I can't live without just because it just gives me my center. And it isn't about like vanity. It's about just like for me, it's like managing my mental health, my breathing, my blood pressure, because I have high blood pressure. So for me, it's about maintaining blood pressure low. And my hormones are crazy right now because I'm perimenopausal. So my hormones are all over the place. So it really helps. I think fitness and just getting those endorphins right in your body.
Alicia, like you just talk about COVID and we saw what happens when you don't have community.
Yeah.
You know, when you lose, when somebody takes that away
it
from you. It
affects you, yeah.
And the beauty of fitness, bunch of classes, they bring people together. So it's like, let's use that factor instead of just, oh, I'm going to go to the class so I can lose weight. No, you have to do so many things to lose weight.
Yeah. Working out,
enjoy
isn't
your
it?
curves,
Yeah.
do your thing, come to class to have fun, to get stronger, to be more flexible, to glow a little bit more because you're sweating and getting rid of toxins. But lose weight, that's a whole different game. Don't diminish the power that fitness has to just losing weight when you can have so much more from it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is such a good thing because fitness is so much more than that, right? It's mental health, it's the breathing. Yuri, it's been amazing.
Thank you.
And you're such a fun girl. And we had some great white wine today. And it's very loungy. It's very easy. It's conversational.
Super. And
I
like this new Alicia show. Good vibes.
Good, yes. So we're trying. I'm challenging myself to be more easygoing, which is not easy for me. I'm challenging myself to be more vulnerable and talk about things that are in my life that I don't typically talk about. So I'm going to do more of that. Because I just protect my privacy so much, but I know that a lot of people want to know, like, how do you confront things and how do you overcome them? Because, there's things that I do to overcome a lot of, stuff. And they see my Instagram and they're like, oh, you go here, you go there. You're always out traveling. Yeah. But it's a lot of stuff that happens before I go on a trip. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about those things because guys, it's social media is one thing. And my son was just saying the other day, he was like, Mom, you have to like remember that people see you and they think that's that's the goal. But you have to let them know like how you got to that place or like what you go through every day to kind of like come out.
Right now, I'm sorry, just real quick, can I tell you a quick story from Sunday?
Yes.
So we did the Houston Latin Fest, which is a huge deal, right?
Yes.
There was like thousands of people in there. But we got there like 4 hours earlier. Our feet were soaking wet. We had to stand there for like hours waiting to perform.
Yeah.
It's like we had to practice for days. And 1 minute before, because the show started late, the event started like 2 hours late, they were cutting people off the list. Like, no, you cannot, and they cut us off the list.
Oh.
We were not supposed to perform. Like, and they told me that a second before we were going. I said, no, you cannot perform. And my friend was like, they have to perform. And so he was like, okay, 3 minutes. And my friend said, let's go.
Yeah.
And so it's like from like, what? And we're like, oh, like, are you serious? We're waiting for like 5 hours. We've trained for like a month and a half. And you're going to tell us no? To like going on stage and being like full of smiles and like, let's give it all we got. Social media makes it look like, oh my gosh, it was the best event ever. 1 minute before. The entire time we had wet feet. We're like cold. It's like terrible. And then 1 minute we're like, no, you cannot perform. And we're like, what? And they're like, yes, okay, you can. So it's like social media is beautiful, but at the same time, please know that there's so much more history behind everything you see.
So much more. Yeah, and you're right. You're right, Yuri. You have to put a smile, right?
Gosh, yes.
And that's what people do on social. They put the smile, they put the happy face, and then all of a sudden, it's like they're miserable. They're getting a divorce. They hate each other. I mean, it's just like
no, and Alicia and her husband are perfectly happy and married, and they love each other.
Not that we don't hate each other every once in a while. No, yeah. There's moments where I just like feel like, ugh, I can't deal with you today. I'm leaving. Bye. But thank you so much for being here, Yuri. And let's do this again.
Yes,
you're so fun and lively and just amazing. And congrats on everything that's going on for you and everything that you're pursuing. Guys, please follow her on Instagram at FitMix. What's your Instagram?
Communities.org. En español para yoga es Soy Yuri Amor. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about yoga en español.
Okay, beautiful. And are you starting a podcast yourself?
I'm doing the podcast en español también.
En español, so it's everybody where they can find it.
Same. So Yuri Amor.
So Yuri Amor.
Ferozmente vulnerable, where we're going to be like talking about where you're coming from, who you are, you know, things that we don't know when we meet in networking events.
I know. You never know who you're going to meet in anywhere, in any place, at any time. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. And I hope that this new season just, brings a fresh perspective of, something new, something different. Maybe you want to hear something that's you've always wondered. Send me a message. Send me a DM at Vibes by Alicia on Instagram or on my personal IG at @the_Alicia E. And then also on the website, which I'm getting revamped. I'm getting a new website. So that's happening and that's going to be super cool. And then guys, I also have a few classes that I teach. And so go to my website, vibesbyalicia.com, and you'll see all those classes as well. Thank you so much, Yuri. It was amazing. We had so much fun. Guys, don't miss it. Share this episode with all your friends. Tell everybody about it. And